People with high social status who can afford it, and some people who want to gain social status who can afford it, often modify their bodies in modern times. They get plastic surgery. Marilyn Manson got silver teeth put in not that long ago. And it's really funny because we kind of think of people from the past as different from us and kind of like a little more primitive maybe, or they walk around with sticks in a cave. And I think our view of people before us is probably really warped and not at all accurate. And so I love it when a study kind of backs up that perspective shift of like maybe people were not that different 500 years ago or 100,000 years ago or 200,000 years ago. They probably weren't that different from us. And what's really interesting to me is kind of like if you take someone from an uncontacted tribe today that doesn't know anything about kind of what we call the modern world, you'd be able to teach them how to fly a plane. And I wonder if that applies to other human species as well. Could you teach a Denisovan or a Neanderthal to fly a plane in the modern world, just like someone from an uncontacted tribe? I would guess probably. Can we train other animals to do it right now, like octopus or dolphins or things like that that have a big prefrontal cortex? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I've never seen any studies on that, but I doubt that we could do it. But in terms of human species, I think we could teach most human species probably how to fly a plane if we brought them to what we call the modern world. And so this is a fun study that was highlighted in Live Science. And they talk about how 500-year-old skulls with facial modifications were unearthed in Gabon. They say hundreds of valuable metal objects in the grave hint at the individual's importance and wealth. So these are 500-year-old celebrities, or probably not celebrities, probably just the top of their society. Men and women living in West Central Africa 500 years ago dramatically changed their looks by removing their front teeth. Maybe they wanted to be like Marilyn Manson. Ancient skulls revealed. Archaeologists found the centuries-old altered skulls deep underground in a cave that could be reached only by rope through a hole in the cavern's roof. That's probably why they were so well preserved. It's hard to get to that area, so nobody could ruin it before. And then it says that there are very few sites with archaeological human remains for this region. And the fact that children, teenagers, adult males, and females were buried here with so many artifacts, more than 500, was astonishing. Scientists photographed and laser scanned the cave interior and burial sites so they could reconstruct the cave and its contents in 3D. Near the skeletons, there were also plenty of burial objects such as bracelets and rings, axes and knives, more than 100 marine shells, and dozens of pierced carnivore teeth. Deliberate removal. Here's the interesting part about this study, in my opinion. Of the human remains, the skulls were of particular interest to the researchers, as all of the intact upper jaws were missing specific teeth, the central and lateral permanent incisors, 4 teeth in the very front of the mouth. All of the empty tooth sockets showed signs of healing after the extractions, known as alveolar resorption, indicating that the teeth were removed while their owners were still alive and that the holes had enough time to heal before the people died. So these teeth were not removed after death, and in some cultures, they do remove teeth after death. In this case, they removed their 4 front teeth while they were still alive, just like probably Marilyn Manson did. I don't know if he had silver teeth put on his teeth or if he had them removed and had them inserted. I'm not really sure how that works, but apparently people were doing something like that 500 years ago as well in what's now Gabon. I think that's really interesting. In 2016, another team of archaeologists found similarly altered skulls, also missing their front teeth, in Brazil's Lapa do Santo cave. But in the case of the Brazilian remains, which date to about 9,000 years ago, the teeth were extracted after death and burial rituals. So it's not quite the same thing in this Brazilian site, but it is similar in terms of the teeth that were removed. They go on to say, dental modification is a custom that's well documented worldwide, especially in Africa. Violet, one of the researchers, said in their email, many various reasons are advocated for tooth removal by the people who practiced it. Sometimes those reasons include facial modification, extracting teeth in order to change the shape or appearance of their face. So maybe they didn't put something awesome right here in the front of their teeth, but maybe it just changed their face in some way that looked cool to them. The Irongo skulls clearly weren't modified as part of a burial rite, given that the gums had healed. the researcher said, because the extractions in the Gabon cave were symmetrical and involved the same teeth in all the skeleton's jaws, they were likely removed in the context of some cultural practice for this population, the scientist said in the study. And this article goes on to say that we're not sure what that cultural significance was. We don't know why they did this or what the purpose was. And I think that kind of mystery is really interesting. And it's really hard for us to solve, actually, because we tend to project our own understanding of the world onto these other groups and onto the past. And the actual answer to why they did this is probably has little to do or nothing to do with what we think it might be. And so maybe this is the kind of mystery that's better left unsolved, even though it's really interesting to speculate about what the reason could be for them to remove those 4 front teeth. And it just shows that Marilyn Manson wasn't doing anything new when he got silver teeth. People have been modding their bodies as long as we've been humans, as far as I can tell. So it's nothing new. At least 500 years ago, we were also doing stuff to modify our face and our teeth. So there you go. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. I post a new video with a topic that I think is interesting or useful for you every single day at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. So I hope that you will subscribe and join me for tomorrow's video as well. And either way, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.